Hi, welcome to Growing Dreams Homestead. I'm Dana. My family and I are homesteading on 10 acres in Indiana. We are Zone 6A. Our expected last frost date is the middle of May, around Mother's Day, which is next weekend, but our forecast looks really good. Temperature-wise, there is quite a bit of rain coming, but that's great for the garden, so I am not mad about that. Yesterday I got some corn and beans and cucumbers and squash planted, and today I have been prepping beds in the garden to get ready to get some other things in the ground. I'll show you what I've been up to. I'll pop in a before and after picture, and then I'll show you around. Welcome to my garden. Out front we have some garlic that's been in since the fall. My beautiful clematis are starting to bloom, and we have our strawberries interplanted with some onions. So let's take a look at what I have been working on today. So the front of the garden has been planted for a while. We started with potatoes on Good Friday, and they are looking great. So happy about that. This tray here is full of yarrow that I dug out of these beds. This is my second tray full like that. I have yarrow in my pollinator strip along the outside of the garden, and it has went wild. It may have been a mistake to put that in there, so might have to take that out. Anyway, next bed is cabbage and kale, and it is covered in our pest protection. I did a little DIY video on the hoops that I made for that, and so far so good. Spinach, lettuce, onions looking good, with a few potatoes that I must have missed last year coming up. Same with the next bed, there's some rogue potatoes. So we have some turnips, and as you can see, I got this bed like really crooked when I planted it, so I added some more to the edge by the turnips, and I think I'm gonna throw some sugar beets in there. I ordered some of those, thought we'd try them. And then there's also carrots in that bed, and like I said, the rogue potatoes. Then we have a path. I will need to get some more cardboard to cover that. A bed, path, and then another bed with my poles for my Florida weave, for my tomatoes, and then I have my fence where I grow my cherry tomatoes, so those will go there. The back I planted yesterday, if you want to check that video out of all the great things that are back there. Then I have another bed for Florida weave for more tomatoes, and then 2 more beds prepped. So the garden is ready. This morning we moved the baby chickens down into the little coop inside the big chicken run, and they are a little over 5 weeks old, and they are doing great, and they got lots of feathers. So we decided, because the weather is nice, to go ahead and move them out. Well, the other chickens have been gossiping about it all morning. That's all I've heard the whole time I've been working is chicken talk. They don't know what to think about them babies. I think it's cute. I'll pop in a little video of the chickens, and then we will get to planting here in a few. There is a major discussion in the coop about the babies being in there. So before I start in the vegetable garden, I'm going to get this yarrow in the ground. I did expand my perennial bed in the flower garden, and so I'm just going to pop them in randomly over here and get them in the ground so they don't dry up and die. I might as well use them since I have them. And look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So I have already taken 1 tray of yarrow and planted them around this part, just disperse them in the extension of the perennial bed. So I'm going to start over here and work my way down and just kind of pop them in the ground. It's tomato time, so here are my tomatoes. I probably have way more than I need. That's okay. I'm going to start by kind of laying them out, which beds they're going to go in, and making markers for them. Starting with the cherry tomatoes. So I have Tropical Sunrise, golden nugget, and cherrylicious. So I'm gonna do 6 on this fence. I've done a lot more, but it gets crazy, so we're gonna try 6. So with tomatoes, you want to bury them deeply because all of those little hairs along the stem will turn into roots. So I will probably bury this guy like up to here. I'll probably pull that leaf off and bury it, and that just helps it be a little more stable, develop a better root system. So yeah, I'm gonna get some cherry tomatoes in the ground. Okay, we got those in the ground, and now we're gonna water them in. They were pretty wet in their cups, but still want to get some water down there to encourage those roots. So I planted my cherry tomatoes by the fence because they are indeterminate, which means they will grow really big. They'll just keep growing and growing, and they'll put on fruit throughout the season. My determinate tomatoes, my Romas, San Mazzaros, and Jersey Devils, I will plant in between my poles and do the Florida weave with them. They are determinate tomatoes. They get a determined size. They're kind of like a bush tomato, and then they set one big set of fruit. There are more that come, but not like the initial flush of fruit. So near these tomatoes, I am going to plant a companion, which is basil. What goes better with tomatoes than basil? So in between each plant, I'm going to sprinkle a couple seeds, and then on the back side of the fence, I'm going to plant some sunflowers. So I got all my paste tomatoes laid out in between the poles, which I will do the Florida weave on, and I will show you how to do that once they're a little bigger. These are all my paste tomatoes. So we have Romas in this bed, San Mazzaros on half of that bed, and Jersey Devils on the other half. I'm gonna get busy planting these because it looks like it's gonna rain, and I need to hurry up. So I got all of those tomatoes planted. It has rained off and on, and I did go ahead and turn on the sprinkler because, you know, if I don't, it won't end up raining. So it is thundering right now, so I think I'm gonna call it a day. Thanks for hanging out with me today. It's been a really busy day getting all these paths and beds weeded and ready for planting. Got a lot to do, lots of the more veggies to plant, and then it'll be on to the flower garden. So have a good one, and I'll see you soon. Bye.